Everybody, welcome to 161st and River. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to talk some hot stove updates. I have a graphic on the next page talking a little bit of the hot stove updates. And then we're going to talk a bit about what Yes Network actually just said while we're talking those hot stove updates. So here we go. So Ahmed Rosario is back with the Yankees. It is a 1 year, $2.5 million deal. There are some escalators in said deal. The expectation is for him to play against every left-hander. He's going to play all around the field against lefties, which is great. Rosario has a role, has a purpose on the squad, and I'm happy he's back. I really, really am. So Rosario, that's a great fit. He was a great fit in the clubhouse. I wrote about it Saturday, as it was being reported. The Yankees are still short on right-handed hitters. They still want to acquire some. That's good. They are not done this offseason. The notion that the Yankees are giving up this offseason is completely overblown. Yeah, they have some work to do. Yeah, they haven't done much yet. They've also been extremely tight-lipped so far. We don't know what can get done and when. The reason they've been so tight-lipped is because things the past few years have gotten out, and they don't want leaks to get out and to be used in the media. Like, I can tell you pretty confidently, Michael King is not signing with the Yankees. I'm pretty bullish on that right now. I'm I'm very confident he will not be here next year, which, that would be I'm not a fan of bringing King back personally. I think there's just been so many injury concerns with King over the years. Now look, if they brought him back, welcome him with open arms. He's a great pitcher. I also know that if they bring him back, it's likely on a 3 or 4 year deal, and he's always hurt. And the Yankees right now need starters who can be relied on and not on the IL. So concern for me with King. And I don't think King's coming back. I think the Yankees are being used. Because if you look at the other two teams that we know are fully involved in this, the Red Sox and the Orioles. And the representation of Michael King, and I'll check on that right now while I'm talking about this, doesn't want the Orioles bidding against the Orioles. The Red Sox aren't going to go all out to sign Michael King. The Mets are not obviously involved in Michael King. But the Yankees are not going to go all out to do it. And that's an issue. I think they've noticed that that's an issue here. Um I where is here. I opened this last week. Uh we've got uh King. Michael King is represented by Excel. So not a Boris client. But I wanted to check that out. But the agents over at Excel are likely going to use the Yankees because it's going to drive the bidding war between the AL East. They were involved very early on. Obviously, they did their due diligence. I believe his agent is Casey Close. But I think talks have since gone away. I don't see them signing Bellinger like at all. Um, the Yankees are still in play for Cody Bellinger. The Yankees have an internal number set of, where they're going to go, which I think we all know. Like, they're not going to go to 7 years. I think that's kind of widely known. They're not going 7. They're not going to go to these extreme lengths. Get this deal done with a player who, let's be honest, is a 5 year player. So if they were to go to, I would go to 6th year and maybe a mutual option for a 7th year. That's where I would go. I don't know what Scott Boras wants. I don't know when he's going to sign. Yes Network said that they think he's going to wait until Tucker comes off the board. That could also be, you know, speculation. I think no one really knows what a free agent's going to sign. It's been speculated on social media today. He's going to sign by the end of the week. I really have no idea. I do know there are The Mets are going to be involved to an extent. I don't think they're really, really involved. I don't think they're seriously going to be involved at the end, especially if the Yankee offer is already above the threshold they want to go. I know there's going to be another West Coast team involved. I don't think I'm at liberty to share who that is, but they're going to be involved, and I can see them giving the Yankees a real run for getting this player back, and we'll see. I mean, I think the Yankees have a good chance of bringing Bellinger back, but they want him back on their own terms. If they don't get him back, they are looking at trade options. Now, those trade options could be for platoons. Those trade options could be, let's go out and just bolster the starting pitching in the bullpen and do the games that way. And we'll give Jason Dominguez left field. I think of any player they're going to trade this offseason, it's going to be Spencer Jones. I feel like he's going to be dealt. It's a matter of when, not if. I feel like that they're going to try and capitalize on trading Jones now before it's too late with him. Because if they give him major league looks and it's bad, it's going to be harder for them to trade him. If they trade him before he hits the major leagues, they're going to be able. They also talk about Cade Winquist, and I showed a video on the last episode. I'm not going to show it here. I'm going to pull up actually a graphic of what the bullpen currently looks like in a second here. And Cade Winquist is actually an intriguing option. They compared him to Luke Weaver in the way they were able to unlock Luke Weaver's specialties. The Yankees think that they can unlock Cade Winquist. They were going to draft him in the draft. The reason they didn't draft him was because they selected Cam Schlittler, and when they went back around, he was gone. So the Yankees clearly have interest in the player. They've done their homework, as Michael K said. Like, they didn't just draft this one on a whim. And the bullpen really right now, from what's being reported by Yes Network, the bullpen really only has 2 spots left. And it would be in the Yankees' best interest to go out and get someone from the marketplace that they can put in this bullpen. Because right now, this bullpen is projected to look like this. Yeah, Bednar closing, Duvall setting up, Cruz setting up, Hill setting up in high leverage, then Jake Birdemill relief, and Cade Winquist. Cade Winquist hasn't pitched in the majors yet, so that's why his minor league stats are up there. This is fine. I think this is fine for now. They need to get someone in there. They've had conversations with the St. Louis Cardinals about Jojo Romero. Don't know where those have gone. I know they've talked. The market is not moving. Scott Boras is doing his thing. I feel like the the Yankees need to do what they need to do to get the players back. And I think getting back Bellinger makes the Yankees just an infinitely better team than if they let him walk. They need to do something here. Now, look, if the plan is to let him walk because it gets to a number, and you go out and get Tatsuya Imai, fortify the rotation, and trade for 2 high leverage arms in the bullpen, and sign Austin Hayes, and say, okay, we're going to platoon Hayes with Dominguez. Jones will probably have to be in a deal for someone, and if Jones is still in this organization, put him down in the minors until Stanton inevitably gets hurt, and then call him up. Rodon and Cole and Schmidt are not starting the season on time. They're not going to be able to survive with the starting rotation that they have now. It's an impossibility at this point. It's not that they shouldn't want to have to survive with the starting rotation they have right now. They need to do something. because this isn't. They need to start making noise, and they're going to. I'm confident that the Yankees are going to get something done very, very soon. They're also waiting. It's the waiting game. Reports were last week that the Yankees were lowballing free agents. Yeah, that's probably true. They're probably definitely lowballing trades and free agents. I think that once things start to materialize, they're going to end up panicking into moves because they're going to have to make a move somewhere and not have anything, and then they'll panic. And that's what I think we should be most worried about is them panicking into something. And notably, again, this is the third episode of Hot Stove where they haven't even mentioned Tatsuya Imai's name. And that to me signals how interested the Yankees are. And you might be like, you're crazy, which, yes, I know I'm crazy. But obviously, the world knows the Yankees are interested in Bellinger. They're not going to be able to keep that one a secret. But the Yankees' interest in. Okay, so the reason I have him on here for getting a bullpen job out of spring is because when you are selected in the Rule 5 draft, you have to be guaranteed right now he's on the 26-man roster. So you have to be guaranteed a 26-man roster spot coming out of spring training. The Yankees have already said that they project him to be in the bullpen if all goes well in spring training. But because he's already on the 26-man roster, if for some reason it doesn't go right in spring training, they can't option him down to AAA. They'd have to place him on waivers. Yeah, yeah, they'd have to place him on waivers. So I'm just going to go through this for people who don't understand. The way the Rule 5 draft works is you get a player and they're automatically added to your 26-man roster. So that's the 26 players that are with you every day. If they try and option WinQuest down at any point during the year, they can't. He'll be placed on waivers or designated for assignment, I think is the official term. He'll be placed on waivers. If no team claims him through the waiver wire, the St. Louis Cardinals will then get a phone call from the Yankees saying, "Hey, you can have WinQuest back for $50,000, I think it is." And if they say no, then he just gets optioned out of the Yankees minor league system, and they can just like re-sign him to like the minor league bonus, and he can come back up. That's something that they'll have to figure out. So the Yankees, that's why they were talking about this on Hot Stove, where they see a lot of like Luke Weaver esque things in him, where they think that they can fix him and say like, okay, they think that they can play with his pitch shapes and during spring training they can bring him in, and if they can and it looks great, then the Yankees are seriously, they might have a weapon. The Yankees are really good at finding diamond in the roughs in terms of pitching, not really hitting. They're really good at finding, pitchers to convert and make them really good relievers. They've done it with multiple guys. But he should be their only project piece in the bullpen. You can hide him a little bit. Brent Hedrick should earn a spot in the bullpen. I like him. I like what he did this year, especially if they don't acquire another lefty this offseason. I think Brent Hedrick is a really, really strong prospect, and I think the Yankees really need to look at giving him an extended look. And I know they like him. And Winquest stuff is very good. The thing for me when I was watching film last week on Winquest is he has no control of his fastball. His fastball isn't great. His primary pitch is his curveball. Now, if Matt Blake can help him out and they can set up his fastball, like and they get his fastball better, that might set his curveball up better, right? Obviously, 3.99 ERA isn't the best in Double A, especially. But I'm confident in the Yankees. And look, if it doesn't work, then they'll DFA him and try and get him through waivers. It could work. It could also not work. We'll see. This is the first time the Yankees have selected a major league player in the Rule 5 draft since 2011. Like they don't do this every year. They did this on a player that is literally a lottery ticket, and they think that they can do well by, I guess. I'm intrigued to see what they do with this. I'm really I'm really intrigued to see what they do with WinQuest. I'm really intrigued to see what they do with this bullpen. I really, really want them to go out and get like a Jojo Romero. Let me see if I have like the graphic of his numbers. I really, really want them to go out and get a Jojo Romero this offseason. I really, really liked him because he's a lefty. That's what I especially liked about Jojo was he was a lefty. And I know that's, not everyone loves that, but I think the Yankees need more lefties in their bullpen. That's something that the past few years they have struggled against. I know these two teams have at least talked and had, some form of conversation regarding the player. Does it get done? Who knows? He was 4-6 with a 2.07 ERA in 65 games for St. Louis. Those are okay numbers. They aren't, amazing. They're also not the worst. And I think he's worth taking a chance on. Um, I'm gonna put his numbers on the screen here. Why did it do this? 0.07. So those are Jojo Romero's numbers. He's 4-6 with a 2.07 ERA. Let me see if I can find like a video on socials that I can show. Uh, but the Cardinals are going to try and take whatever they can from the Yankees. The interest is coming again from primarily the St. Louis side. I mentioned the interest, almost a month ago at this point. I mentioned it as I'm like, um, I searched like Jojo Romero into X, and I guess I mentioned him on the 19th. That the Yankees should watch because he could pitch in high leverage as a lefty. And it's also coming up like when he was coming in against the Yankees this past August 17th. And I feel like he had like an off day that day. I feel like he didn't pitch well that night. If I can remember correctly, like he didn't pitch well like at all. I can't seem to find video on him, but anyways, Jojo Romero is a great option for the Yankees to have in the back end of that bullpen. I guess a lot of people are watching Yes Network right now because my TV's saying that the network is highly congested. So good for them. I think that's really all I have. And I mean, that's all we're really going to have until I think when Bellinger signs, whether it's here or somewhere else, the dam is going to break in terms of who the Yankees are going to go out and acquire. If he signs here, then you could see deals put in motion. I'm sure Brian Cashman has deals ready to go down right now. I'm sure there are. I'm sure Brian Cashman has deals right now that the second Bellinger signs, he's ready to go and finalize. I'm very sure of it because I'm sure of Cashman's ability to get deals done. But we're gonna see. So I'm gonna end it there tonight. We're not gonna do like a regular podcast episode. I think I'll be back on Friday. I think that'll be a pre-recorded episode. So I'll talk to you all then. Until then, be safe. Obviously, if major news comes down, we'll go live. I feel like number one, I was busy Saturday, and number two, Ahmed Rosario, the writing was pretty much on the wall that he was coming back. And while the writing might be on the wall for Bellinger to reunite here, Bellinger's a big signing, and we'll go live for that. We weren't going to go live for Yarborough earlier, or certainly Rosario now. And Yarborough might be the long relief guy. They might really need one reliever. All right. All right. I will be back here on Friday. I'll probably do a pre recorded episode. Till then, go Yanks, and please, something happen.